Hello, my name is Peter Strauss, Executive Director of Team Primetime and founder of the Primetime Games. The Primetime Games is an alternative varsity sports model that relies upon you, the peer mentor, to give children with disabilities the opportunity to compete in high school sports. This video is the first of 2 trainings. After completing both trainings, you will qualify to be a peer coach in the Primetime Games. Please make sure to write down any questions that you have during this video so that you can ask your head coach once you're done watching. Now, please take a moment and watch the Primetime Games introduction video so that you can learn more about the program from participants just like yourselves.
Hi, I'm Alexi Lawless. You know, sports can change a young person's life. That's why I'm so proud to introduce you to the Varsity Games. The Varsity Games gives 2 at-risk populations from the same high school, lower income youth, and the special needs students they mentor, the chance to compete together in the only league of its kind. Check it out.
Kids just like me.
And me.
And me.
Who don't have the chance to play high school sports.
Even though it helps so much.
Give me a chance to play.
Somebody give you a chance.
Think of what it did for you.
High school athletes are more likely to go to college.
Kids that play sports get better jobs.
Someday you might work for me.
Kids who play sports are less likely to be bullied in school.
Give me a chance.
Give me a chance.
Give me a chance to play.
Give me a chance to mentor.
Don't help me.
Help me help others.
I'm more than you think I am.
I'm a mentor.
Kids who have mentors make better choices.
I'm a mentor.
Kids who have mentors develop confidence and communication skills.
I am a mentor.
In high school, kids learn more from each other than we do than adults.
Just give us a chance.
Yes!
Jake, give me a chance. We're Dorsey Pride.
We're not the problem. We're the solution.
Let us show you!
One of the things that makes this program so unique is that we utilize an evidence-based curriculum for your training, specifically the PEERS school-based curriculum for adolescents, developed by Dr. Liz Lageson from the UCLA Semel Institute. PEERS stands for Program for the Education and Enrichment of Relational Skills. It is an evidence-based social skills intervention for motivated adolescents in middle school or high school who are interested in learning ways to help them make and keep friends. It sounds simple, but it isn't. People who have undergone this training include university department chairs, occupational therapists, behavior analysts, and you. Athletes in the Primetime Games are students who have disabilities that keep them from participating in traditional varsity sports. The most common challenges that our athletes overcome are autism or autism spectrum disorder and Down syndrome. Autism or autism spectrum disorder refers to a range of conditions characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication. Children and adults with autism may have a dysfunctional sensory system. Sometimes one or more senses are either over or underreactive to stimulation. Such sensory problems may be the underlying reason for such behaviors as rocking, spinning, and hand flapping. Typically, the nucleus of each cell contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, half of which are inherited from each parent. Down syndrome is a condition that occurs when an individual has a full or partial extra copy of chromosome 21. This additional genetic material alters the course of development and causes the characteristics associated with Down syndrome. A few of the common physical traits of Down syndrome are low muscle tone, small stature, an upward slant to the eyes, and a single deep crease along the center of the palm. Although each person with Down syndrome is a unique individual and may possess these characteristics to different degrees, or not at all. Having friends, it's something we all want, and in that regard, we're all the same. Understanding how similar we are, rather than just focusing on our differences, is an important part of becoming a good peer coach. The following section of your training is called I Experience Autism Too. It was prepared for you by middle school students who have autism and wanted to help you understand just how similar we all are. Do you ever experience anxiety, feeling misunderstood or like you don't fit in, trouble staying focused in school, loneliness? If you said yes to even one of these things, you can relate. The following slides are taken directly from the peers training. It's complicated. You saw the list of careers that incorporate this training. Please, don't get discouraged. Instead, focus on the words that are in bold and underlined, as they are the foundation for your Primetime Games training. Social deficits among teens with autism spectrum disorder. Poor social communication. Problems with topic initiation. Use repetitive themes. Perseverate on restricted interests. Disregard the other person's interests. One-sided conversations. Elicit fewer extended responses. Give fewer reciprocal responses. Fail to identify common interests. Difficulty providing relevant information. Make unexpected leaps in topics. Pedantic style of speaking. Poor speech prosody. Difficulty interpreting verbal and nonverbal social cues. Voice tone, sarcasm, gestures, and social touch. Social deficits among teens with autism spectrum disorder. Poor social awareness. Poor eye contact. Difficulty understanding social cues. Poor social motivation, less involvement in social activities, like extracurricular activities, clubs, or sports, lack of peer entry attempts, fewer social initiations, poor social cognition, difficulty understanding the perspective of others, poor theory of mind, lack of cognitive empathy, poor quality of friendships among youth with autism spectrum disorder, results in less companionship, less help from friends, less security within friendships, and greater loneliness. I told you it was complicated, but if you focus on the words that were in bold and underlined, it starts to become easier to understand. Take a look. In other words, poor social communication or social challenges, plus lack of peer entry or lack of social opportunities, plus restricted interest or limited interests, equals a lack of quality friendships. Why target friendships? Having one or two close friends predicts later adjustment in life, can buffer the impact of stressful life events, correlates positively with self-esteem and independence, and correlates negatively with depression and anxiety. Simply put, kids with autism and other disabilities often have a hard time making friends. Your goal as a peer coach is simply to help your athlete make and keep friends. Earlier in your training, we introduced you to the concept of restricted interests as a reason why athletes, especially those with autism, have trouble making and keeping friends. I wanted to spend a little bit more time talking about this concept because it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Here's another way of thinking about it. On any given day, you or I might think of 100 different things once or twice a day. What to wear, who to call, what to eat, what to play, what to watch. An athlete, especially one who has autism, however, might think about one thing 100 times a day. So their knowledge in and interest in that one thing is much greater than the interest you or I might have in one of the 100 things that we thought about. Let's meet 3 people from history who either have or are believed to have had autism, and just think about how much better the world is because of their restricted interest. Albert Einstein, Satoshi Tajiri, the creator of Pokemon, Mozart. I don't know about you, but I think it would have been pretty cool to be friends with Albert Einstein. The question is, how? How do we establish friendships with people who have restricted interests? The answer? You find common interests. And that's your job as a peer coach, to find common interests with your athlete. Let me ask you a question. Do you know anyone who has autism? If you do, what are they like? How well do they interact socially? Do they like one thing a lot? Let me ask you a couple questions about common interests. What common interests do you share with your friends? Do you like to play video games together? Do you enjoy dance? Do you like to go to movies together? Do you play chess? Do you like cooking? These are examples of common interests. Here's another question for you. Are your common interests important to your friendship? And finally, would you have ever met your friend or friends if it weren't for that common interest? A common interest we've yet to discuss is sports, specifically team sports, which are the foundation of the primetime games. We focus on team sports because they provide the opportunity to make multiple friends, because a team is comprised of individuals who have a shared common interest or are pursuing the same goals, whether that's the thrill of competition, having fun, exercise, or winning a championship. The opportunity to be part of a team is something that a lot of us take for granted. But there are thousands of kids out there who haven't yet had that opportunity. And now, because of you, the peer coaches, they will. Here's a short video that captures the important role you play as peer coaches in the lives of the athletes.
Thank you, coaches.
Thank you, coaches.
Thank you, coaches!
Thank you, coaches, to helping me.
Just want to say thank you to all of my coaches who have been there for me when I was doing the prime time. And I just wanted to say that you guys are really amazing and awesome.
Thank you, coaches, for helping me. I really like the soccer game and the practice. Thank you, coaches.
Coach, thanks for helping me get more better and having a lot of fun playing sports.
They help me focus on the game and to tell me to focus on guarding the players.
Hey Chris, well you remember me from last year at flag football. Well thank you. Well thank you for teaching me how to catch the football and run away, and I got the flag all over.
I like the coaches a lot. My favorite coach is Brayden and Tyler. Brayden helps the most of my training, while Tyler tells me kick the ball. And I can't wait for Angel Bar to coach us for flag football.
They're nice people. They're not mean. They're nice, and they don't yell a lot.
Help me with, learn how to pass the ball around and stuff, and work with my teammates.
Are you glad that you had a coach on the field with you?
Yes.
Why are you glad that you had a coach?
To help us play better.
Did you make any new friends?
Yes.
And what did it feel like to make new friends?
Really good.
It's because they help, they coach us, and then help me with some skills.
My coaches help me with scoring a goal.
They're nice and have fun. They're nice to me and laugh and have fun.
My coach helped me how to do the things right.
You know, I like Julian because he's a great friend to me.
He's a friend. What makes him your friend?
He had me protect me.
He protects you? How does he protect you?
Leave my weed too long.
Does he say that to kids who might mess with you?
Yeah.
I learned so much from you guys. Like, I play better now. I got more friends to talk to. I'm not gonna pick favorite and coach. You're all good. I like you guys, and yeah, I'm happy.
He's the type of guy that will protect you no matter what. He's more like family to me.
My coaches, I'm good buddy.
The building block of the primetime games is the peer pair, the pairing of coach and athlete. Peer pairs practice and play a position together for the duration of the season, and often from season to season. The sports we play, modifications to the rules, and practice drills are all designed to maximize the interaction of the peer pair. For example, soccer is played 8-on-8 with 2 goalies, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 2 forwards on each team. Why do we do this? To help create the bond between peer coach and athlete. Now that you've been introduced to the peer pair concept, let me ask you a couple of questions. Why is the peer pair model beneficial to the athlete? Similarly, how will the peer pair model help you be a more effective coach? All friendships start with communication. The peer pair model provides multiple opportunities for you to communicate with your athlete. Here are some strategies that are designed to help improve the quality of the communication between you and your athlete. The most important strategy is to trade information to find common interests. Think of a conversation as tennis or ping pong, where the idea is to hit the ball back and forth. The way we do that in a conversation is by asking open-ended questions. Those are questions that begin with words like what, or how, or why. You should also try to avoid closed-ended questions, or questions that can be answered with either a yes or a no. The first strategy is to use your athlete's name.